Good morning. Welcome to After GMS, something we do every Monday through Friday on the WFMY News 2 Facebook page right around this time of morning. I'm Tracy McCain here with Megan Milleris and Ed Matthews.
We got to start with our forecast because it is quite cold this morning. Ed mentioned he pulled out the jacket today for the first time in a long while, dusted off the sleeves a little bit, and you look sharp.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure a lot of other people were doing the same as they headed out the door this morning. Take a look at these low temperatures across the area. Down to 42 in Greensboro and Asheboro, down to 40 in Reidsville this morning. But look at Siler City. Yeah, the airport there went down to 38, 41 in Sanford. We got 47 for the low in Winston-Salem, 43 in Martinsville, down to 43 at Wilkesboro. We did have some mid and upper 30s being reported over areas of the Blue Ridge this morning. Boone 36 for the low, and Galax, Virginia at 38. Boy, look at this nice view of downtown Greensboro. We're looking into the northern sky. Beautiful sunrise and a clear sky this morning. And those temperatures are moving up. After going down to 42 at the airport, we're up to 45 now. We'll continue to move on up. We're on our way to the upper 60s to near 70 today for about normal temperatures. Our normal high is 68 for today. Tonight we'll drop back into the mid and upper 40s. Now it'll be clear during the evening, but clouds will start to build after midnight. Pretty wet system's going to be headed our way for later Thursday afternoon, right on into Friday and Friday night. That doesn't mean it's going to rain all the time of that time period, but we will see off and on showers, and the clouds and rain will hold the temperatures only into the lower 60s Thursday and Friday. And Saturday, although we start to dry out in the afternoon, we could keep temperatures in the upper 50s if those clouds hang tough. But I got some good news for all the wannabe trick-or-treaters. It looks as though it's going to dry out just in time. Yeah, Sunday, mostly sunny and mid 60s. I think during the trick-or-treat time we'll drop down into the mid and upper 50s during the evening on Sunday evening. And then it's going to be dry as we start the new week as well.
All right, so Ed, I'm glad you're sticking around here for this weather conversation because, as you know, it's like a toss-up. It's funny, really. It can be warm, sunny, and 80 degrees in October, and then the next week, it's in the 60s, and a cold rain is coming.
Right. no matter the month.
Right.
We get all four seasons sometimes in the span of a week in North Carolina, particularly in fall. So all those fluctuations got us thinking about saving money on energy costs. This is that time of year when we start getting higher heating bills.
Right.
As we start cranking the heat, we want to know, how do you save money on your energy bills? Any tricks, tips, strategies that you guys use?
Yeah, so our money expert Janae Adams shared some tips on the Good Morning Show. Check this one out.
Everyone in the household must be on the same page in order to save money on your energy bills. That means that everyone, once you walk out of the room, make sure that you cut the lights off. Make sure that everybody's on the same page, that they're seeing if any water is running, they cut those faucets off completely so they don't run all day. And make sure no one is touching the thermostat and turning it up and down, because that is going to defeat the purpose and your energy bill is going to be really high. Even if you're a household of one, you can do everything that I just talked about.
All right, so we asked you on the Good Morning Show, how do you save money on your energy bill? We heard from Donna Perkins. She said, I keep unused items unplugged. That is very smart. I wish I could do that in my house. And like Janae said, it is a team effort. Everybody in the same house has to be, on the same page, turning off lights. Right. Unplugging things that you're not using. And at this point in the game, it's just not going to happen that way. Yeah. But we do save money by signing up for automatic withdrawals through Duke Energy, which is our power company. And then that way we don't have to worry about billing or paper billing coming to the house, and it's a deduction on our bill, and also when you automatically have it withdrawn, you get another deduction. So it kind of works out that way, but kids are afraid of the dark. They need night lights. They need lamps on. You know, I wake up at dark 30. I like to have a lamp on, you know, so that I'm not tripping over myself. So yeah, we just keep that stuff on chucking.
So it's interesting the comment the viewer submitted, because we had a verified question about this a few months ago, and an electronics expert said, really, you're not going to save a ton of money by unplugging the unused items, at least not every day. You don't need to worry about going around your house while you're getting ready for work and trying to get out the door, unplugging all the lamps that you're not using. You're going to save more money focusing on the big five, which a home improvement expert said includes obviously your oven, your fridge, your hot water heater, your thermostat. And so if you focus on those, you'll save maybe hundreds of dollars per year compared to maybe just a few bucks. So one thing that Tom Garcia suggested, he works for Southern Evergreen, which is a green kind of home building company here in the Triad. He said, focus on your water heater, set it to the lowest possible setting where you can feel comfortable still. And that's going to save you huge money in the long haul. I like hot water, but I've tried to be a little more conscious of that.
Yeah, hot baths are very important, especially on cold nights. So Ed Matthews, you have a few tricks up your sleeve. You're the most frugal of us all.
Oh yeah, boy, you know how I like to save a dollar. I definitely am always looking for ways to do that. Megan, you know, mentioned the oven, and I really, by habit, do a lot of microwave cooking. You know, not fast food or anything like that, but when I prepare a dish, if it is something that I can cook in the microwave, I certainly do that. Now that's a big energy saver there, as you know, and it gets done quicker as well. But Janae was talking about in her full segment, and it really struck me yesterday, Tracy, when you guys were taping that piece. She was talking about doing your laundry after 7 p.m. and always using, for the wash cycle and the rinse cycle, cold water. Don't use any hot. You don't need it. And so I did that this morning. And I'm going to look and see. I'm really going to be conscious of this over the next bill cycle from Duke Energy and see how things go. But turning off the lights, just doing these little things that you say, does that really make a difference? Yes, of course, it adds up. I got my utility bill yesterday, the latest bill, and it was $7 lower than it was. No, not just $7. $7 lower than what it was last month. So you know we're in that transitional season where you don't really need the AC and you don't really need the heat as well. But I'm going to do a conscious effort. That laundry thing is fine because, I mean, I'm up looking at weather charts at 1:30 in the morning. So why not do your laundry while you're awake? And that's exactly what I did this morning. Got it done, and do everything you can do to lower that power bill.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Ed, no matter what anybody ever tells you, you have a great life. When you can do laundry at 1:30 in the morning, I envy you. So.
Yeah, but I go to bed at 6 o'clock. So
I also envy that.
The thing about doing laundry at off times is it's like a commitment. So it's one thing to throw it in the washer, but then are you going to start the dryer? And then if so, are you going to actually take the clothes out of the dryer and fold it after it's done? Because if you leave it in there till the next morning, you know, it's going to be a little bit wrinkled. So
get it, a wrinkle. So let us know how it works out for you, Ed Matthews.
Okay.
I'm cheering for you.
Thank you.
Let's get that bill down even lower. All right, let's check our feed here, see what folks are saying. Debbie said, I run the dishwasher at bedtime, unplug unused small appliances, wash in cold water, open the blinds to let the sun in. Very good tips. And kind of a lot of what Ed was saying too. What's that dishwasher you were doing? Oh yeah, that's smart. Okay, so this is dishwasher and your washing machine. Carol said, we do our laundry early and cold water always. Let's see. That was a response to someone else. Someone said that their electric bill in the winter is under $90. I'm trying to figure out who it was. It was Tamrika. She said, my electric bill in winter is under $90. Bobby's like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm all about saving on my electric bill. And I think we all are. It's just, easier for some people than others. I feel like if you have great insulation in your home too, that probably helps things because it's naturally insulated, right? And it's going to stay a little bit warmer. She also said she keeps firewood handy. She said it's cheaper than electric heat in her opinion. So.
And Carol made me laugh. She said washing clothes takes 1 to 2 hours, drying and putting away 7 to 10 business days.
That's hilarious.
It's so relatable.
If I may jump in for a minute,
yeah,
I'm just kind of curious. Now, I live in a well insulated condo with lots of windows on the south side, and it will probably be well into December before I turn my heat on. Just well insulated, I don't need it. I'm not trying to prove a point or anything like that, but if I don't need it, I don't need it. And of course, I got a lot of blankets in the closet as well. But what constitutes an expensive power bill? Because, I mean, if you have a house, obviously you're gonna buy. I don't mind telling you, my power bill I got yesterday was $57.
That's pretty cheap.
That's good.
But I live in a condo, and I think in a condo it tends to be a little bit cheaper, and it's just me. You know, I'm not, I don't have 5 people running the shower or anything like that. But even so, my mom it's like, hers is like a couple of $100, but she cranks the heat up. I mean, it's like I can't breathe when I go to my mom's house. She's cold-natured at 84, and I just let her do her thing. But she keeps it toasty in the house year-round.
So our actual energy bill is not that bad. It's like $150, but we also have a fuel company that comes out because we don't use heat from the energy company. We have a different type of unit. And then we also don't have a water bill because we're on well water in the county.
Oh,
so
that's great.
it kind of makes up not having those other bills by, moving things around a little bit. But yeah, our energy bill is about $150 to $175 usually.
Yeah, our heating bill's not bad. Our AC bill's a lot worse. We get that western sun in the afternoons, and it just bakes the whole front of our house.
And the front of the house.
The front of the house in the afternoon. The back of the house gets it in the morning, and it is just a battle all summer long. I mean, we've had to invest in like window units and stuff too, because that's how difficult it is to just spread the cool air around the house, because sometimes it gets concentrated in a certain room, and based on that sunlight, really makes a difference.
It does make a difference. Yeah. And also the levels in your home, if you have a few stories in your house, 1 or 2 or 3, the higher you go, the warmer it is traditionally, and the lower you go, the cooler it is. So I'm not an expert. I'm just
observations in life.
Lived around. All right. This is a great first conversation. We do have some other ones coming up, so stick with us.
All right, let's get to our morning headlines, though. We do have a lot to cover today. You can expect an update from Governor Roy Cooper and his COVID-19 task force as COVID metrics really improve, at least in the last month or so. The briefing is scheduled for 2 o'clock. You can watch it streaming live on WFMYnews2.com, or if you're on the go, just open up our WFMY News 2 app. The Surry County Schools Board voted to get rid of its mask rule starting next week for some students. Masks are still strongly encouraged, but will no longer be required. This begins Monday for middle and high schools. They will still be required on the buses to wear masks. This change takes effect in elementary schools December 1st.
Well, as your children go trick-or-treating this weekend, we want to make sure you have your Halloween safety checklist ready to go. This should be a fun time for kids, but as WFMY's IT News McMiller explains, there's always the potential for danger.
What we know on Halloween, all the little ones are worried about is collecting as much candy as they can. And sometimes they get so excited they dart across the street without looking both ways. Now, the scary thing about this is statistics show that children are more than 2 times as likely to be hit and killed by a vehicle on Halloween than any other time of year. And we don't want to report on any accidents. So these are some things that families need to keep in mind. Have children wear reflective costumes that are bright. And if that's not possible, put reflective tape or strips on outfits or even trick-or-treating bags to increase visibility. And parents need to pay close attention to their children. Be their extra eyes and ears when crossing the street. And drivers have a responsibility as well.
Your job is the most important. You need to be as undistracted as possible when you're driving, especially through neighborhoods. And if you see one trick-or-treater, then assume that there's more. because some kid might be running from a dark yard and going to run straight across the street in front of you.
And when going from place to place, trick-or-treaters need to stay on sidewalks and always walk facing traffic. And parents should also look out for children that don't have chaperones with them. And cities in the Triad do not have official trick-or-treating nights. That's left up to families and individual neighborhoods.
Well, the Triad has been home to the ACC for nearly 70 years now, and the conference is considering a potential move of its headquarters out of Greensboro.
Yeah, that would be big if it happens. Again, just a consideration at this point. We are asking you here on our feed, if the conference were to decide to move from Greensboro, where do you think it should go? You can also share your favorite ACC memories. A lot of people grew up going to those tournaments here in Greensboro.
Yeah, certainly part of my life. So earlier, the ACC started a review of league operations under its new commissioner, Jim Phillips. But the ACC now says it is exploring other cities as it assesses what is best for the conference long term. They're going to look at population size, growth, and diversity. No decisions yet, and it's not even, you know, a thing about leaving Greensboro just yet. A timeline has not been released, but the fact that they're considering kind of got people talking.
Yeah, and it got the mayor's attention. Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn responded to this in a statement. Part of it reads, quote, "We were expecting the ACC to continue their due diligence and entertain other locations. We remain positive that Greensboro is the best location, and we look forward to the next phase," end quote. So if the ACC headquarters moves out of Greensboro, where should it go? Cletus thinks it should stay here in Greensboro. I think all of us would agree with that, you know, to some degree or another. The ACC has hosted more tournaments here in Greensboro than any other location in the conference. We also have the ACC Hall of Fame over at the Greensboro Coliseum, which has hosted so many basketball tournaments, not to mention the ACC Swimming and Diving Championships at the Greensboro Aquatic Center. So it really has been an experience for families, not only here in the Triad, but from all over, who make a point of traveling to our area, staying in our area, spending money in our area to enjoy all that Tourney Town, as we love to call it, has to offer.
It's definitely a tradition for families, you know, young and old. It's been a part of my life since I was a little girl, and it's so exciting to see that it's still going strong here in Greensboro, where it should stay. With that in mind, you know, just because the headquarters is somewhere doesn't mean you can't take events or tournaments outside of the city. Sure, you know, you experimented with having your basketball tournaments in New York, Atlanta, I get it. Your football tournament is always in Charlotte, I get it, at the Panther Stadium. But you don't have to move your headquarters. You can still stay here and still have your other tournaments and games in other places. Yeah. You don't have to, it doesn't have to throw everything with it. You know, just experiment, have some fun, go to Atlanta for a tournament, sure.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to go to New York and check out Syracuse and all that, fine.
If you want to be late,
keep it home.
Yeah.
If you want to be late to your game because you're fighting traffic in those cities.
That too.
That's another consideration, Ed.
You know, you think of the logistics. I mean, all highways literally lead to Greensboro and the Triad. We have a great logistics network in terms of traveling to and from Greensboro and all of the Triad, but just think of the enormous amount of history and tradition. Tradition is important to ACC fans. The ACC conference has been good to Greensboro, but you know what? Greensboro's been good to the ACC conference.
Amen.
And we need to remember that. And, you know, it's fine if they want to check around, do a little homework, and just kind of see how things match up in other cities. That's fine. They certainly have the right to do that. But I'm hoping and praying that when all of the due diligence is done, they're going to discover that they're in the sweet spot. And that's right here in Greensboro. And I hope that the final decision will be for the headquarters to stay here in Greensboro. We put on a great ACC tournament. I totally understand it can't be in Greensboro all the time. It is only fair for these tournaments to move to other cities so other people can enjoy those tournaments in their hometown. But let's keep it here in Greensboro. We got to do that.
And I also feel like there's already a lot of change with the conference. Coaches are retiring or have retired, and these are not just run-of-the-mill coaches. These are legendary coaches. I'm talking about basketball, but it's football as well. And obviously there are so many different sports involved with the ACC and every conference. But I mean, this is a time of major change. Let's just kind of keep it normal for a little while. We haven't had that in a while. You're having Coach K leave this year. He says it's his last season. And of course, this will be the first season without Roy Williams for Carolina. Wake Forest has a new coach, it seems like every year. So it's just a lot right now. We just need to calm things down.
Oh, I love your passion, Tracy. And one more thing I want to add. You're talking about memories of the ACC. I think, I like the ACC football, but I definitely love the ACC basketball. And I remember being in front of the TV just as a little boy watching ACC basketball, ACC tournaments. And of course, I was a big Wolfpack fan when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And I remember Norm Sloan. How many of you remember Norm Sloan? Yes, he used to be the coach for NC State back in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, and a plaid jacket. That was the style then.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You
You mentioned the plaid jacket and it came right back.
Yeah.
So that was before Coach V.
Yeah, oh yes,
Yeah,
oh yes,
yeah,
yes. This
definitely.
would have been back in the 60s
Right.
and
'80s.
and 70s, but back then, I mean, plaid was the thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely remember all of these coaches, and that was really a large part of our TV viewing was to see the games, because we couldn't necessarily go to the games and bring it right there in TV. The magic of TV.
And it is magical.
So we got a few comments here. Jason commented earlier saying he thinks outside consultants might be overthinking this one. He mentioned that a lot of teams who fly in to play tournaments here charter planes, and it's easier for them to get into Greensboro Airport at PTI than it is at Charlotte Douglas International.
I didn't even consider that.
So that's a good point. I mean, you have to factor in, although we are a smaller city, our interstates are less crowded, as I mentioned earlier, and so are our airports. So we really do have a great network for people to be able to move around here with ease and get to those games, get to their hotels in a timely fashion.
And the museum is right there, so
Right.
you automatically have another, attraction within a few feet of, the Greensboro Coliseum. So sorry, I'm just pitching all the reasons why Greensboro.
And they're great
so.
reasons. And with being smaller can be good. Although this area is growing rapidly, and I've seen big changes over the past 33 years. The tournament in Atlanta, that's okay, that's fine. Atlanta deserves to have the tournament occasionally. But that's just one event out of many events going on in a city the size of Atlanta. You bring the ACC tournament to Greensboro, it is the big event in the city. And the city, I gotta say, Greensboro has done a wonderful job rolling out the red carpet for the ACC tournament. And it's the only thing in town. I mean, when the tournament's here, everybody, even if you don't like basketball, everybody is talking ACC tournament because it is the big thing in the city at that particular time. And I think the three of us, if we got together and went over to the conference headquarters, be real nice, be real professional, and say, well, we just want to sit down and have a cup of coffee and just a little chat with you, I believe we could convince them to stay here.
Well, Ed, what was your tagline earlier that you were going to tell
If
them?
it's not broke, don't fix it, people. Come on, it's not broken, so it doesn't need fixing.
Right.
And who knows, maybe they will decide that it's not broken either and doesn't
That's
need
what I'm
fixing.
hoping.
It's just an assessment at this point. But a lot of great ideas, and we all make a good case for why it should stay where it is.
Yeah. I mean, we could go on, couldn't we? Because we love this place.
Yeah.
It's what we call home. And if you move it, there's going to be trouble. No, I'm joking. No threats. Strike that from the record, Your Honor. All right, Ed Matthews, let's take a look at our forecast.
I love our passion about this topic, and I've got a feeling this is not going to be the last time we discuss this. But anyway, we do discuss weather every morning, and we're going to do it right now. It's a beautiful morning. Official low at PTI so far, 42. Yeah, that was chilly enough for Ed to get his jacket out. Sun's out. We're on our way to the upper 60s to near 70 today. Plenty of sunshine, mid and upper 40s tonight. Clear during the evening, but the clouds will roll in late tonight. Now, tomorrow morning during this time should be dry, but the clouds will continue to thicken up. We'll bring in a chilly rain into the Piedmont later Thursday afternoon. And since this is going to be a fairly slow-moving system, kind of off and on rain showers will be with us through Friday and possibly into the first half of Saturday. But the trend will be by the weekend for things to start to gradually dry out, just in time for Halloween. Right now, Halloween and beyond into early next week are looking dry. I'm so happy about that because I want the kids to go out, be safe, parents keep an eye on them, and let them have some fun.
That's right. I was just putting on my Facebook page, we have a pumpkin, a princess, and a former Carolina Panthers QB for Halloween this year. So we're excited, although when I told Simone she was a princess, because that's what the package indicated, she said, "Mommy, I'm a queen." I was like, "Go on, girl. Get it, girl." Yes, queen.
The apple doesn't fall far, does it?
So I might have to change my alliteration there.
So cute.
To PQP. But we'll see. Oh, I just got that. The apple doesn't fall. Yeah, I guess.
I'm just kidding.
It's okay. No worries. It slid right through. All right. Thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. We'll have more great conversations and some fun. As long as Ed Matthews is around, he keeps the fun rolling.
You better believe it, baby.
That's tomorrow on the News 2 Facebook page.